This is the 16th edition of the Positive Postman's podcast, and I have somebody with me that I literally idolized as a kid. He don't know that, but I'm letting the cat out the bag right now. And he also was like a big brother to me, you know, growing up. And I'm happy to have him here. And without further ado, this is my guy, my homie, my big brother, Randy Williams. Pleasure to have you, man.
Appreciate it, boy.
Yes, sir.
God be the glory,
yes,
baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
how
sir.
your day going, man?
Oh, man, it's been a long, man, because on my side job, I do these yours, man.
Okay.
Sometimes it get a little hard on me, man, with that sun, baby. Yeah, but other than that, man, just, you know, enjoy it. Try to relax and enjoy this summer, man.
Yeah.
Before I head back up to the school with these kids, baby.
You got a lot of yards?
I got about a total of about 16
okay.
that I do throughout the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I imagine you probably pick up extra yards on the side.
Sometimes, yeah, I try to stick with my 16.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I get broke out of my routine.
Okay.
You know, and then I get kicked off my routine, and I got to go do this yard and then try to make up this yard. You know, so I try to stay with my 16.
Yes, sir.
But sometimes I will. You know, somebody really need it. Yeah.
Well, I need my yards. Nah. So I understand you coaching basketball at Trimble Tech.
Yes, sir.
How long you been coaching?
I'm in my 16th year at Trimble Tech High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like in the beginning? You know, knowing that you are a Wildcat at heart, and signing on the dotted line to coach at the school where we considered the enemy back in the day.
Yeah, the thing was, it was my best friend, Wonder Ivory, man. And when he came up to me and asked me about helping him out, I said, okay, man, I don't mind doing it, you know. But when I go in, I'm going all the way in. I'm giving it 100.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all about where I grew up or where I played. It was all about trying to give back to the kids.
Right.
If I had some information that I could give them, well, that's what I really wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been doing it for 16 years.
16 years.
So, what would you say is the highlight of your coaching career at Trimble Tech? What do you remember? What moment or memory sticks out?
For me, my first year there, 2012, that team went to the regional finals.
Okay.
I don't know the last time Trimble Tech had been to a regional finals. And to just be a part of that with Coach Ivory, like I said, my best friend, that was one of the best times of being there.
Yeah.
I won the first 5 years I was there with the JV. We won the district the first 5 years I was there.
Okay.
So, you know, it was when I first started, it was a whole lot of ups.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole lot of downs because the talent ain't around. So now this has been the most relaxing time.
Yeah.
For me, because ain't no pressure on winning. Now I can just kick back and think about coaching and teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say the talent level is down, is that due to lower enrollment or schools in the suburbs?
It's more due to we lost a lot of our kids that we used to get in the inner city from the Butler housing and the Stop 6 projects.
Yeah.
About 4 years ago, you know, they moved, they shut them down.
Yeah.
So a lot of those kids that we were getting and going into Trimble Tech, they go to, you know, your Crowlers and your Evermans and your Kellers and your Haslets and all that.
Yeah.
That's where they moved them to.
Yeah.
So a lot of the talent that's not in Forward in the inner city, that's where it is now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They taking our kids.
They taking our kids.
Yeah.
The numbers are low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up on a year that Coach Hughes has been gone. What was your thoughts at the time of his death?
Well, let's just say this. I kind of already knew what the transaction he was going through. I kind of already knew that, the transition. I already knew what he was going through, so it wasn't as bad maybe as it hit a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I had always still been in contact you know, with his son, with Bob Jr.
Yeah.
So he would always kind of let me know what was going on.
Okay.
So, now did it hit me? Yeah, it hit me because that was like my father, man. So yeah, it hit me.
Yeah.
It hit me. Yeah.
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 What is your one of your most important memories about Coach Hughes? Or even if you got more than one.
Let's just say, like, when I was in the 9th grade, like I said, I didn't play basketball, man. I started playing basketball in the 9th grade. So a lot of the guys that were in that gym in the 9th grade, he already knew about those kids because he used to go watch them all the time. Once I got in that gym and I started playing for the man, and that man took me under his wing like he was my daddy, man. So I know one time in the 9th grade, man, I got real sick, and my mom and dad, they had to be at work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, That man came and knocked on my door and asked me why I ain't at school, man. And I told him what was going on. I said, man, I'm sick. And that man took me to the hospital, man. And that was one of the most memorable things at Dunbar. But basketball was, but for him to do what he did on that day, that got me, man. And from that day on, I bought into everything that man said. Yeah. Because for him to do what he did, knowing he has his own family, he didn't have to come get me to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And like you say, you wasn't even playing basketball in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, and that was in the 9th grade?
That was in the 9th grade. So you can just imagine throughout the 4 years that I was there, how much stuff he did for me without even asking to do it. He volunteered his time.
Yeah.
Like he did with every kid that probably came through the program. But it was just, for me, it was different, because like I say, man, I had a family at the house.
Yeah.
My dad and my mom, I got four brothers and 2 sisters. He didn't have to do what he did, because they could have took out the time to do what he did. But he chose to do it on his own. Yeah.
Why you think he did it?
It's just the fact that he loved his kids. Any kid who came through Dunbar, whether it was male or female, and if you had a problem, he was gonna try to beat up for you. Yeah. And that's why he did what he did. Yeah.
Man, that's a hell of a story, man. Yeah. Were you able to make it to the funeral?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How was it?
I think it could have been did a little bit bigger than what it was. It seemed like, to me, didn't nobody put no time into it. I know his family wanted their privacy and stuff, but besides the family part, it should have also been something with the Fort Worth ISD.
Yeah.
Them having something with him before his family even got down here. They could have did something for him.
Yeah.
So, that being said, because that man is a legend, man. There should have been way more people at his funeral than was there. Yeah.
Dignitaries.
Yeah.
'Cause he bought a lot of revenue. He generated a lot of revenue for the city of
Come
Fort
on, man.
Worth.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and the surrounding cities
exactly.
as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like I say, I wasn't gonna miss it. If God had blessed me that day, I was gonna be there, man. So yeah.
So, for the people who don't know, tell the people what year you started playing for Coach Hughes and how long you played for him.
I played for Coach Hughes from 1985, 84, 85 to 88. 88, 87, 88. Yeah. 4 years under Coach Hughes, man.
And how many trips did y'all have? Did y'all win the state championship?
No, we came up short, man. My senior year, that was the closest we got. My senior year, we ended up losing by like 5 points. Yeah, but we went to the regionals. My sophomore year, we went to the regionals. My junior year, we went to the state semis, and my senior year, we made it to the state championship. Yes.
Now y'all lost to the Cash Twins your junior year.
My junior year, yes.
And your senior year was the Keith's Hanks?
Keith's Hanks, yes.
Okay.
Sam Houston. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Which one of those losses was hardest to
swallow? Of course, the senior year.
Okay.
We had that one in the bag, baby.
Yeah.
That junior year, We was in trouble off the muscle. My senior year, and we had like an 8-point lead with maybe about 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What
so
happened?
yeah, that one. Man.
Take me back.
We went into a situation that we had never did before since I've been at Dunbar.
Stalling.
The stall tactic, baby. And we had guys and that was not just it was a team wise.
Yeah.
Collectively we turned the ball over in bad situations, man. Yeah, we missed free throws at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And they took advantage of us, man. Keith the Saints came down and knocked down about three threes in a row, baby.
Yeah. Now, that was the second year of the three-pointer.
No, first year.
That was the first year.
That was the first year.
Okay.
I wish we would have had it our junior year. Myron Wilson, baby.
Yeah.
I wish we would have had it our junior year.
Yeah. So why do you think that Coach Hughes went to the stall tactic or strategy?
Because he probably thought if he slowed them down, we had a better chance to win the game. Like I say, I don't know because we had never did it before. But then you can't question the coach,
right?
Because you don't really never know what they thinking. And that was the decision he made. And that's the decision. Yeah.
Now y'all beat South Oak Cliff in the semi.
In the semis, yes.
Yeah.
That was the third time that year we had played them.
Third time.
Yeah, that was the third time we had played them.
Okay.
And it got closer and closer every time, just like with Denton. That was the third time we had played Denton in the Super Pit to get down to Midland.
Yeah.
And every game got closer and closer. The first game against Oak Cliff, we beat them by 20. First game against Denton, we probably beat them by 30. Second game, we beat them by about 10.
Yeah.
Second game against Oak Cliff, we probably beat them by 8. And then you seen what happened in the regionals down in by district. We got Denton by 1.
Yeah.
And then in Austin, we got Oak Cliff by 1.
Last second
shots.
Yeah. By Shea.
The state was by Shake and the by district was by me on the dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the dump.
Okay, so y'all barely got out of there.
Barely got out of there.
What strategy do you think that the opposing coach
slowed us down?
Okay.
Yeah, slowed us down.
Okay. And how did they do that?
They just went into a zone. The zone defense. We couldn't. They wasn't trying to offensive rebound. They were just getting back on D to make sure they was in their position, man, to slow us down.
Yeah.
Because if not, we was running. That's how we were doing. We were running up and down.
Yeah. Freeway.
Yeah, we didn't have no set play, man.
Yeah. If you would have known back then what you knew now, what would have been your strategy versus that zone defense?
Well, we have plays now, so we would have. The thing is, like as a coach, you learn stuff, and I learned a lot from Coach Ivory about. Because he was a student of the game. He wasn't really the greatest basketball guy. He was a student of the game. So he watched, he learned the offenses and the defenses. So by the time I got to Trumbull Tech, I could see all the different things he did against the zone or what he did against the man.
Yeah.
And that made, if we would have had that back then, they could have did nothing with us. Because we had players that run up against them zones, man.
Yeah.
We didn't learn that in Dunbar. Hey, man, ball rolled out. It's time to go
Just
play.
take off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the fear of Dunbar, just people knowing they finna play against Dunbar, we had an advantage. People was always kind of scared to play against Dunbar.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The West Side Lions tournament, L.A. Crenshaw.
That was 88.
It was 88.
It was 87, 88.
87, 88.
It was my senior year.
Okay, yeah.
It was my senior year.
Yeah, that's right, because I rode the bus with
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
What happened?
On, man.
What happened, man?
Hey, man. Hey, you know how you come out. You the home team. Your adrenaline is flowing. So you can't do nothing wrong when your adrenaline is flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won up by 20 in the first quarter. First quarter, we was up by 20. Second quarter, they shut all that down. We was probably down by 10 at halftime.
Okay.
Well, what they did was play L.A. Crenshaw basketball, which they wasn't doing in the first half.
Okay.
Which was, they ran a 3-2 defense, 3-2 press, where they had all their bigs at the front. 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'4", 6'5". They didn't have nobody shorter than 6'4".
Right.
That year. And they put that press on, man. We couldn't get the ball past. At the beginning of the third quarter, I don't think we got past half court our first 10 possessions.
Damn.
So when we look back up at the clock, we were down by 30.
Okay.
We were down by 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was Coach Hughes? What was his reaction? His initial reaction? Yeah.
And he was trying to bring everybody in and out. We would study switching people in and out, man, but it wasn't doing no good.
He couldn't find the formula.
Couldn't find the formula, man. Because we had never seen nothing like that before. Since playing basketball at Dunbar, had never seen nothing like that, man. Nah. And I ain't talking about the press. I'm talking about how they had their press set up with the
bigs up front.
Yeah. With them bigs up front. Had never seen nothing like that in my life, man.
Now, Derek had double-digit turnovers.
We probably all had double-digit turnovers in that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying we couldn't get it past half court.
Yeah.
That made a whole lot of dudes think about, do I want to even go play anymore? You know, we out for Christmas break. A lot of dudes didn't come back until we went back to school, man.
Because of that.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all ended up losing by 30. Was it 30?
Shit, probably about 35.
Okay.
But I know it was somewhere in there. I know it was about 30 to 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were tough though, man. Them tough dudes I ever played in my life, man.
I remember John Staggers?
John Staggers, number 4 kid in the nation.
Yeah.
Number 4 kid in the nation, man.
What,
and he didn't even start. He didn't start? No.
Okay.
He didn't even start because he had got in trouble back home.
Yeah.
But when he came off the bench, he still was putting up about 30. Yeah.
I didn't know he didn't start.
Now, like I said, during the tournament, he didn't even start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of off-court issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was the number 4 kid in the nation, though. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But then they signed about 8 D1s that year coming out of Crenshaw. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Stephen, there was a player from Syracuse on that team. Was it Kevin Ali? No.
Not that year.
Okay.
You had John Staggers, you had Carl Holden. He was a 6'8". He went to Louisville, and then you had I forget the other name, but he went to Washington State.
Okay.
Them was their main 3. But like I say, one of them was 6'8" and one of them was 6'9". Then John Staggers was 6'4".
Okay.
But they also had a 6'11" that was on. He was at the top of the press.
Yeah.
You know, and he was running us to the other 2 dudes, Holden and like I said, I forget the other kid name. But shit, we couldn't get past that, man.
Yeah.
And them dudes could move too, man.
Was it Cornelius Holden?
That's Holden. That's the one who went to Louisville.
Okay. Yeah.
I forget the other one name though. I forget his name, but yeah,
Man.
he went to Washington State.
Baltimore Dunbar.
That would have been my sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
Yeah.
Was that with
Booby James, and Sam Cassell.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
had Thompson.
What happened then?
Oh, we won. We
y'all
beat them.
Okay.
We beat them. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good one. It was a good game. I think we ended up getting them probably by about 4 or 5. Booby James fouled out, and we went on a run to seal it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I wasn't playing that much then.
Okay.
I think he put me in the game, and I got out there and had me a wide open layup and went up to shoot, and that ball came out my hand and went way up to the top of the top of the square.
So who was the starting 5 your sophomore year?
My sophomore year, that would have been pretty much the same one my junior year. Carl Allen, Lionel, because Big Slow wasn't on varsity that year.
He was.
He decided to play JV one more year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it was Derek, Myron, Carl, Lionel, and Big. I don't know if you remember Big Kitchen.
Yeah, Donald Kitchen.
Yeah, Big Donald Kitchen. Yeah, it was them dudes. That year, Big Slow didn't want to play varsity because they had 11 seniors that year. And they was big.
Okay.
Yeah, they was big.
So he felt like he wouldn't get no clock.
Yeah, he thought probably he wasn't gonna get no running, no burn.
So he ended up playing 1 year of varsity.
2. He played that was my sophomore year. So his junior year, did Slow play his junior year on varsity? My sophomore year. Oh no, he played varsity. He played varsity his junior year.
Okay.
Yeah, he did, but he didn't start.
Okay.
Because he was starting the older guys. Like I said, the only 2 that was starting younger would have. Oh no, they would have been Derek and Myron.
Yeah.
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 That was Myron's junior year, our sophomore year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that
he was
would
a year ahead of you.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
would have been like that.
Mhm.
Like I said, Slow was coming off the bench. He wasn't playing a lot. And you had Big Holstein, you had Icky, you had Big Kitchen, you had Darren Collins, you had they had about 11 seniors that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So, did y'all go to state that year?
No, we got down to Midland
Mm-hmm.
and we lost in the second game
Okay.
to Amarillo.
Okay.
And they went on to win state that year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we came back our junior year and we beat them. The defending champs, we beat them our junior year.
Were you who were you recruited by your senior year in high school?
I mean, I probably had about maybe 80 to 90 different schools recruiting me.
Okay.
But the main schools that recruited me was Oregon State, USC, UTEP, North Texas, and I got a couple of looks from Georgetown. Them was the main schools that was looking. But like I said, it was like smaller schools. But I probably, at the end of my senior year, I probably had maybe about 21, 22 offers. Yeah.
Georgetown, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And you tell those were some heavy names.
Yeah, them heavy hitters back then, man. Yeah.
So did they come to the school?
No, they ain't never come up to the school. So this is what happened with Georgetown. Me and my brother Ricky would always try to reach out to schools because I wasn't getting looks until the end of my junior year.
Yeah.
You know, me and Rick would get together and write, do letters and stuff like that to different schools.
Yeah.
From schools where I probably got. See, back then they used to do like with the schools, they used to do like brochures of all the schools they play at the back of their books or their programs, and I'd just go on the back of it and look and see what schools I wanted to write to. Well, Georgetown would have probably been the only one that responded as far as that went.
Okay.
And we talked throughout my senior year. Yeah. Now he didn't come up to school because, like I said, he getting D1 from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just going off word of mouth. And then like I said, when it came down to it, the dude was signing. I was All-American, but he was signing McDonald's All-American.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now, he did him and Coach Hughes play basketball together for the Celtics? John Thompson?
I don't think so, because Coach didn't play nothing with that. I think Coach only played maybe 1 or 2 years with the Celtics.
Okay.
And then he tore his knee up. Yeah. So I don't know. And I think John way younger than Coach.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach would have been like 92,
That's
93.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So he would have been way older.
But they both played.
At
some point in time.
with Celtics.
Yeah. This is your 14th or 15th season at Trimble Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think you would last this long?
Like I said, when Ivory asked me to do it, and when I started doing it, I figured that's what I needed to be doing. So I didn't ever put no time limit on it.
Yeah.
Now my kids still ask me to the day, "Hey Dad, when you gonna get out of that?" I'd be like, "No, I love because the kids don't get. And like in the city, I can talk to these kids.
Yeah.
A lot of the coaches that they bring in now, they don't know how to talk to these kids.
Okay.
Because they ain't been through a lot of stuff that these kids going through that I went through it the same way that these kids did. Now you're bringing in these coaches, they don't know nothing about damn forward, man.
Yeah.
And that ain't good for the kids that's trying to, be on some high school basketball team in the city.
Yeah.
So I just hang around and stick around now to kind of help those kids out that don't understand the not just basketball but life.
Yeah.
Because they ain't gonna get that from these new coaches, man. So I always pull my kids aside and I try to explain to them about what they can expect from day one in Trimble Tech to the day they graduate from Trimble Tech.
Yeah.
That's why I still like being in. That's why I still like doing what I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were born and raised in Stop 6.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to you?
Oh man, that's pride.
Yeah.
First of all, it ain't gonna be another one.
Right.
It'll never be another Stop Six.
Mm-hmm.
The community and all the people I done met through my life in Stop Six, it'll never be nothing like that again, man. Cause it was like I said, it's a family, man. So, all the support we had, whether you was in the 4th grade, 5th grade, all the way into your senior year at Dunbar.
Yeah.
The community was always behind you, and still to the day, it's still kind of hard. Cause the community, it ain't the same as it was, but the community, it's still the same.
Yeah.
They still support. You know, they just got a little older, where the new generation they ain't as passionate as the old generation is, but I mean, they still passionate about this area, man. So, yeah.
So what did you learn growing up as a kid, growing up in Stop Six?
I mean, first of all, let's say this. My mom and daddy wasn't going. I knew I had to be on the right path.
Okay.
Because they wasn't gonna see it no other way. Me being the baby, and my family, I already had picked up on what I needed to do and what I needed to do, and I wasn't gonna get out of line from nothing they had done to get myself in no trouble.
Yeah.
Like I say, everybody in this area looked out for you, man.
Yeah.
If you was trying to do right, people got behind you, man. And I can take that from that. What I can take from that is, and I'm gonna try to do the same thing for anybody I come in contact with. I'm gonna try to do everything I can for that person.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, I don't care about your color, your religion. That has nothing to do with me.
Yes, sir.
I was raised a way to be friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
Cause I seen it from my mom and dad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
With my whole family, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you grew up in a pretty rough area.
Yeah.
In some apartments called Prince Hall.
Yes, sir.
How long did you stay in Prince Hall?
We moved in Prince Hall when I was 5.
Okay.
We moved out when I was 22.
Okay.
So I seen a whole lot of families come and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Prince Hall and the projects was right.
The park in between them.
Yeah.
Battles, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You had to be ready.
Yeah. So was there anybody else that grew up in Prince Hall or the projects that played basketball with you at Dunbar?
Yeah, Pee Wee, Gregory Westbrook.
Okay, rest in peace, Pee Wee.
Yes. Bird.
Okay.
Bird played. Nathan Kelly played.
Nathan Kelly.
Nathan Kelly. He left out of. He played Dunbar and all went to the 9th grade.
Okay.
And then he left.
Okay.
But that's the class of '88. Cause like I say, we was all playing baseball, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was playing baseball over there in Prince Hall. Either baseball or football.
Yeah.
That's where your best athletes came from out of Prince Hall and out of the projects. Your best athletes went to the football field. Yeah. Or played baseball.
So did you want to play baseball in high school?
Well, I wanted to, but before I got to high school, little Pee Wee had already pulled me to the side and said, "No, partner, you finna play basketball."
Yeah.
And once I got in that gym, it was a done deal. Yeah, I wasn't even, baseball was gone. I would still play for fun, but baseball was gone because I had already about the second week of school, I had already fell in love with basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a done deal.
It was a done deal.
Now give me your all-time Dunbar starting 5, and you can't be on it.
From the time that I found out about Dunbar basketball, because I can't go back past '84.
Okay.
Because I didn't know nothing about basketball or Dunbar
Brad,
basketball. I didn't know them at that time. Now, I didn't play against him, and I know he probably between him and Derek, them gonna be my guard picks.
Okay.
That's my 1 and my 2.
Brad of the 2.
It can be. They can go both ways.
Okay.
Because both of them can do both.
Okay.
If they had to. So I'm gonna go 1 and 2. That's gonna be my pick.
For the backcourt.
For the backcourt. My big, I'm rolling with Mark Chambers, man.
Big Slow.
Big Slow. And I'm gonna stay with mine because I played with these dudes. Gary Collier.
That's the 3 or the 4.
That's gonna be my 3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put 4 gonna be slow, and then 3 gonna be Gary Collier, and then my 5 gonna be I could either go with Big Germas, which wasn't no 5. Germas probably would have been a 4.
Right.
He played the 5. You put Germas at the 5. Or I'm trying to see who else would have been a 5.
Did we ever have any legitimate 5s at Dunbar?
I mean, Rodney Washington would have been a legit 5. That would have been 84, 85. So that, yeah, you could have put Rodney Washington up in there.
Okay.
But like I say, because I don't know, like before them times, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
So you started. So when was your first time going to a Dunbar game? What game?
The first day I went and played.
Okay.
In the 9th grade.
So you didn't go to any games?
No. Now my brothers and them probably was going to them games, but I wasn't going to no basketball game.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first Dunbar game I ever probably went to was the one I played in.
And that was in what, 85?
85.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
So you got Jermis, Big C, Big Slow, Browder, and Derrick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a so no other 5 can be put together to beat that.
Not that I think.
Okay.
Now somebody gonna come back with something different, man. You know how it works.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm going off what I think.
Right.
That's my top 5.
Yeah. I read that the governor of Texas signed a deal where high school players can get name, image, and likeness deals. Do you think that's a good idea?
No. Dog in the game, man. I don't even like the college part of it. Because you got too many kids moving around these days.
Okay.
And all it's doing really, maybe trying to make up some of the money because the kids that are coming out of high school since 21, they're not getting scholarships no more, man. If you wanna go to college these days, man, you got to be 6'6", 6'7", doing something special. They not giving scholarships out to 6'2" and 6'1s no more, man. Because if you're a coach in college, they want to keep your job. Would you go get a freshman kid, or would you go get a 5-year kid?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to keep my job,
Yeah.
because that 5-year kid done been through it already. I really ain't got to do nothing but tell them to go out there and play, man. But with these younger kids, now I got to reteach everything over again.
Yeah.
No, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to keep my job, so I'm gonna get this 5th-year kid or this 4th-year kid. Anybody I can get at this portal, that's who I'm going to get. I'm not going up to these high schools getting these kids like that.
Even if they can play.
Like I said, you got to be doing something special at about 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be no 6. You got to be very special at 6'2", 6'1".
Yeah.
If you look at the college roster these days, the shortest dude you probably gonna run across is about 6'4", 6'5".
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 Why is that?
It's money involved, man. It's money. And like I said, if you're a coach, you're trying to keep your job. I gotta follow the money, man.
Yeah.
And I got to get in this port and go get these kids this money so they can come to my school. But like I say, when you go in these high schools, you ain't gonna get that. And like I say, Cooper Flag, name maybe 1 or 2 more that's gonna probably get to the NBA in the next 5 years. That's a freshman this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, man.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Now unless you got somebody with a name. Like most of the kids you see going to the league now, they didn't play in the league.
Yeah. Whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Starting to see more and more.
Yeah.
What kind of pro do you think Cooper Flag is gonna be?
Because I really don't know his position. I'm trying to think who I can.
He can handle the ball,
But the NBA
and he can create his own shot.
The NBA is totally different, man. You know, we done seen so many dudes come out that can do that. But how long they last? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is he gonna be quick enough in the league? You know, because the thing is, and I know he's gonna be the number 1 pick, but you know that door in that NBA, man, that door is like this. So you got, if you're a number 1 pick, you got 3 years to prove yourself.
Yeah.
In that 3rd year, if you don't prove yourself, guess what? It's time to go, because they making spots for that next group.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, shit, if you get, it's a lot of people that got drafted in the 1st round, man, that didn't make it. They didn't even make it that first 3 years.
Yeah, I don't see their name.
You don't see their names no more.
Yeah.
So I don't know, cause I don't know who to compare him to in the NBA right now. Cause there's some bad boys in the league right now, man. I don't know, man. I guess he can get him about a 15-year, you know.
Yeah.
He can get him about a 15-year career out of that. If he go in there and do what the hell he's supposed to do.
Yeah. Or what they projecting him to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be easy though. I can just tell you that much.
Now, the Luka Doncic trade. Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was good for I thought it was good for both.
Mhm.
I thought it was good for the Mavericks because you opened up the floor for Kyrie.
Mhm.
We didn't know he was gonna get hurt. I thought that opened up the floor for Kyrie, Klay Thompson, all them, because they was getting off the ball.
Mhm.
It was good for the Lakers because LeBron James out his way I'm doing. They need a superstar.
Yeah.
So gone. So now they got that covered. So I think it worked out pretty good for both of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now the knock on Luka is attitude and defense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that what you see?
Well, yeah, and
being a student of the game.
Yeah, and then he cries too much.
Yeah.
And while he crying, we getting our tails blew up on the other end. Cause you studied down on the offensive end crying when you need to be on the defensive end, and they down there getting layups because now they playing 5 against 4.
So he couldn't have played for Coach Hughes.
Hell no. Hell no. Yeah.
As far as Anthony Davis, now Anthony Davis is averaging about 55 or 60 games per year out of an 82-game season.
Yeah. That ain't good either.
That's not good.
Not at all. Not at all. And you'll never know when you're going to have him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that sure ain't good. But like I said, it was just, like I said, at that time, it was all about they needed somebody to play a little defense and wasn't going to say too much, and they needed a superstar.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that's why the trade went down. I think that's why it was a pretty decent trade for both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if the Mavericks are healthy, then they're championship contenders.
They had that. Let me just say this year, they had the squad to do it, even though Luka Doncic was gone.
Mm-hmm.
If them other kids would, what's his name?
Gafford,
Lively. If them
PJ.
dudes would have been healthy, they could have made a run.
Yeah.
Everybody went down at one time for the most part. Yeah.
They really did.
They did.
And then they never jailed.
They never had a 10 because Anthony Davis played one goddamn game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he balled in that game.
One game.
Yeah. And the school closings. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. And I kind of see what they're doing, because if you really, like I say, if you're looking at the numbers are going down every year in the public school district. We losing so many kids to
the suburbs.
We losing so many kids to charter schools. We losing so many kids to these academies. We losing so many kids to these private schools. We losing so many kids to homeschooling. So they got to try to figure out a way to close some of these schools down so we can have kids in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of these classes, man, I go in sometime, man, I got, let's just say not my freshman classes and my sophomore class, we got like 600 some kids.
Okay.
But
total?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, in each class.
Okay.
No, we got like, we sitting at about 2,000 over at Trimmer Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's bigger than most schools
yeah,
around.
Yeah. So that'll be us, Pascal, and South Hills. Probably got the most kids in the district.
Okay.
But I mean, still sometimes, cause like we was down to like 300 and something, because a lot of kids didn't come back or they wasn't registering. They was going like different schools. So you walk by a class, it'd be like 4 or 5 kids in the class.
Damn.
Man. So it's worse down in the elementary and in the middle schools now. It's terrible, man.
I read where in the next 2 years, they're closing 8 elementary schools and 4 or 5 sticks. And 2 of them are right around here, AM Pay and Sunrise. What?
We're trying to see where the kids at?
Yeah.
They like I say, Moon, they taking them and moving them, man. The inner city is gonna be, well, right now we're probably sitting at about 80% Hispanics.
Okay.
Just in this area, for the most part.
Yeah.
If you, in a minute it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah.
So like I said, a lot of parents or the younger black folks, they moving, man, because they don't want to deal with that in their school.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You taking time away from my kid, trying to help this kid improve when that kid probably ain't supposed to be in the school no damn way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, man, we're gonna get our kid. How can we get our kid a better opportunity if we leave them in the school?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of them are going, like I say, a lot of them going to Alton, a lot of them going to Mansfield, a lot of them going to Crowley, North Crowley, Everman, and they going to Keller.
Yeah.
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 Plain and simple. So now we got to shut something down because we can't have this school running, killing electricity when you got 200 kids in this school. Yeah. So
Yeah. That's just wasting money.
Wasting money. So now all they trying to do now is combine it where you get all these kids in one building. And you get these teachers in one building. So, you know, they're going to have to cut back eventually. I mean, we don't have a lot of teachers now, but eventually they're going to have to cut back because of all the cutting they're doing.
Yeah.
As far as these schools, like I say, all these schools, like shit, Western Hills. I think this might have been Western Hills last year. It's a high school.
Say, yeah, I heard they were
They going to Benbrook. All their kids are either going to Benbrook or either going to Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
If they don't go to Brewer. Or if they don't go to these charter schools. So they got so many places they can go these days, man. When we were growing up, you had, if Dunbar was your school, you went to Dunbar.
I went to Dunbar.
You didn't go to no charter school. You didn't get to go to Nolan. See what I'm saying? Man, they got charter schools on every corner, like churches, man. They got charter schools everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hurting.
Yeah.
It's hurting, man.
So what is the future of the Fort Worth ISD 5 years from now?
98% Hispanics, 2% black. In the next 5. In the next 5.
Yeah. Man, I went to a game. I think it was Dunbar versus Carter Riverside. And I saw, it was about 2 years ago, and I saw a Mexican kid get us for 27. And I had never seen nothing like that in my life, man. You know, and we beat them, but the Mexican kid got us for 27. I think he had like 10 dimes, man.
10 dimes?
Yeah, for Carter Riverside.
Was he tall? No, no. He wasn't. He
Might
was
have been
just,
5'8", 9. Might have been 5.
he might have looked Hispanic.
You don't think he was Hispanic?
I know what you're talking about. This kid averaged about 30 a game.
Okay.
But he's real light skinned.
Yeah.
Was Coach Douglas over there coaching? If it was 2 years ago, Coach Douglas was there.
Okay.
So that would have been the kids you talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a black kid.
He's black?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't black, man.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, that might have been more than 2. That might have been more than 2 years ago then.
or either he was.
No. You're right. That's probably right because Coach Douglas did 2 years out of. Yeah, no, that's been Douglas was over there about a while back. So no, that probably was then.
Can I ask you? And we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but can I ask you about Dunbar basketball, the current state?
Well, the current state of Dunbar basketball is pretty much like the current state of Fort Worth ISD sports.
Yeah, but that's Dunbar.
That's Dunbar, but it's a different time. Like I say, people wanted their kids to go to Dunbar.
Yeah.
Kids wanted to go to Dunbar.
Yeah.
It's not the same no more, man. It's not the same. I know. I was watching one game this past year, and he had like 9 kids over there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't remember a time when Dunbar varsity had 9 kids.
Yeah.
We always kept about 16, 17 kids on varsity.
At least.
So all that's doing is telling me is that the numbers are going down. Your best kid from 2 years ago at Dunbar transferred out of there. Your numbers are going down. Your AAU teams are grabbing kids out of these schools, man.
Mm-hmm.
If your kid is good in the 7th and 8th, so still to the day, 7th and 8th grade basketball in Fort Worth is tough. They tough.
Yeah.
The basketball is still good, 7th and 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But if your kid has any talent, you think he's going to a school in Fort Worth? Do you think he's going to go to a school in Fort Worth? No, he is not.
If he do, he'll just be there for a minute.
For a minute. He ain't going for no 4 years. I guarantee it. And like I said, they still do that. The 7th and 8th graders, they still be around here battling, man. But by the time your kid gets 7, by the time you're about to walk out the 8th grade middle school, these AAU teams, these kids done already got these boys and they done took them and they done talked to their parents and are sending them to these schools outside the Fort Worth ISD.
Yeah. Coach Hughes rolling over in his grave.
Rolling over in his grave. My freshman year, we had 47 kids in the gym Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Trying out for 15 uniforms. Now you ain't got to try out no more. Shit.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's a true story too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to go to Dunbar.
Everybody wants to go to Dunbar. Yeah. Not no more, man. Not no more.
Let's talk about discipline. Now,
You talk about in the school
Yeah.
these days.
yeah. Now you know what happened with us.
It started home, baby.
Yeah.
It started home. And we knew if we got into trouble at the school, we was in trouble at the school.
Yeah. And home.
And then when you got home, before you got home, you had to go to your aunties and your uncles, your grandmama, then you got to your mom and your daddy.
Yeah. So what is the Fort Worth ISD's policy on school discipline?
They kind of lenient, man. These kids can beat and got in trouble 7, 8 times, man, before they even do something with them. You know, a kid might cuss out a teacher or something. They send them to the office, and 10 minutes later, the kid back in the class with the teacher. Now, what if that teacher decided to say, "Well, shit, I don't really trust him around me," and if the student said something else to him or her, and they went over there and did something to him or cussed this kid out, the discipline for that teacher is gonna be totally different than the discipline for that kid.
Yeah, they out of a job.
Yes. So I'm just saying, man,
So how do you deal with that? When you have a child that you want to kick his ass but can't?
You talking about one of my kids or one of the kids in the school?
One of your kids.
Oh,
I mean your kids at school.
Oh, I thought
school,
I said,
school.
my kids
at school.
They already knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, man, all I can do is be a teacher. If your administration ain't doing nothing about it, ain't nothing you can do about it. Now,
your hands tied.
I ain't finna let no kid just walk up to me and hit me without doing. I done lost my job, partner. I done lost that job right there. Because you ain't finna hit me and think I ain't gonna hit you back. You can call your mom and your dad on up to the school if you want to. We got a situation, partner.
So it's against Fort Worth ISD policy to defend yourself?
I don't know, because I ain't never ain't no kid never approached me like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I ain't never heard of nobody being, I ain't never heard overheard from a tech. I haven't never heard of a kid hitting on no teacher. Now the cussing now, because Hispanic kids are very, very disrespectful.
Okay.
They very, especially toward women, the males toward women, they very, very disrespectful. But it comes from the house, man.
From the coach.
Because in their house, they get to do they do what they want to do. Now these kids around, even with our kids, now they can call people on you.
Yeah.
You don't even want to do nothing to them no more, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Call
CPS.
Yeah. So it's kind of, man, raising the kid these days, and then, like I say, we ain't got grandparents no more.
Mm-hmm.
All the grandparents are gone.
Yeah.
Now we got, what you call them?
I can call them a whole lot.
We ain't got grandparents no more around here, man. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard raising these kids because the grandmama I always stepped in when the mama wasn't around. I always stepped in when the daddy wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmama was always there.
Yeah.
Like I say, ain't no more grandmamas, man, to kind of slow this stuff down. So now these kids just pretty much, they just rolling, man. They out of control, man.
100 miles running.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your high school backcourt mate.
Shake Dizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's y'all's relationship like?
Oh, man, we cool, man. First of all, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know.
How are y'all related?
My mom and his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, they were first cousins.
Okay.
So that's how we all related like that. Yeah,
How long y'all been aware of that?
Since I was in about the 7th grade.
Okay.
Cause we all go to Greater St. Mark Baptist Church.
Okay.
Yeah, with Reverend Kirkland down there that used to be Derek's. That used to be Derek's granddaddy's church. Before Reverend Kirkland took over, Bishop Kirkland took over down at the church. Yeah.
The Roberts.
So, yeah. So we all grew up in the same church.
Now Blaze related to y'all.
We
too.
all grew up in the same church. Slick, Blaze, yeah.
So what's your earliest memory of Derek?
My 9th grade year? No, 8th grade.
Okay.
I mean, we was in middle school together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, Derek and all them dudes was playing for the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Forest Hill Chaparral.
Okay.
Football. All them dudes already knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know none of them dudes, man.
Yeah.
The only dude I know, like I say, was Nathan Kelly.
Okay.
Because he stayed in Prince Hall with me.
Somebody that I didn't know.
Yeah. So that's the only one I knew. So, like I say, in 8th grade, and I still didn't talk to Derek a lot in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they had their own crews then.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was hanging with in the 8th grade, and I was hanging with my marble buddies.
Yeah. Bird.
No, I wasn't even hanging with Bird yet.
Okay.
My marble buddies was my dudes that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna know now one of them, cause they none of them played on sports.
Give me a name.
Lloyd Turner, Andrew Anderson.
They from Prince Hall?
They from Prince Hall. Derek and what was Derek's little brother's name? Dang, I forget. Derek and Devontae? I think it was Derek and Devontae or something like that. And then, I hung out with Stan and them, my brother and them, man. Yeah. But other than that, no.
Most of your time was a lot of your time was spent up here.
Yeah, because my brother wasn't gonna let me make it.
Yeah.
So that's where a whole lot of that come from.
Right.
When you got, like I said, I got a stepbrother.
Mm-hmm.
But them other 3, they wasn't gonna let me make it, man.
Yeah.
They had me out doing something when I had my time with them youngsters, but I also had my time with my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
While they were trying to teach me to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When did you first see greatness in Derek?
In the 8th grade.
Okay. Okay.
When I first played with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 8th grade.
He had something in.
Oh, man, Derek had something in about the 5th grade. Yeah. Derek had something in about the 5th grade. But he didn't get to showcase it until the 7th and 8th grade. It's when he got to really get out there and showcase it. Because, like I say, basketball wasn't even the thing in the state of Texas, man. It was all about football back then.
Right.
So the only time you played some extra basketball was when you got in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't too many, like how they got it now with the Little League basketball teams, and it wasn't none of that going on back then.
Yeah.
So, 7th and 8th grade when he really got to showcase his talent, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Hughes seen it in about the 5th grade. Because they was already going up to the gym, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, we lost Oliver Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Were y'all close?
Me and Oliver had a working relationship. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was cool. Every time he seen me, we could talk. We could sit down and talk for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
High school wise, we kind of connected like after our senior year of playing basketball, where we got to go play in a whole lot of different all-star games.
Okay.
We traveled all over the United States, man, playing in all kind of games.
Mm-hmm.
And they would take the top dudes out of Dallas, Arlington, and Fort Worth, and they would put us together. And we probably played about, after my senior year of playing basketball at Dunbar, we probably played another, probably about 20 games.
Okay.
With all those guys
around the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So we had. I relate. If he seen me, shit, he was gonna come up and
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were pretty cool.
Was you able to make it to his funeral?
I didn't get to make it.
Okay.
I didn't get to make it to his funeral,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know what happened that day. But I know Coach Ivory went, and a couple more guys from around here went, but I didn't get to make it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He spent some time in the league.
Oliver did about 11 years in the league.
Yeah.
11 or 12 years in the league. Yeah.
Phoenix Suns, wasn't it?
He started out. Well, he didn't start out in Phoenix. I think he did 1 year somewhere. Then he went to Phoenix and did like 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that shit, he was just boom, boom. He was, But he got, like I said, he got 11 years, 12 years. He made it to where he got his retirement. He was living comfortably.
Yeah.
Doing his thing, man. So yeah.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Man.
A kid out of Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, what do you want people to know and say about you when it's all said and done? In terms of legacy.
I'm first of all, I'm God-fearing. I love my family, friends, and all my neighbors. I don't care what color you are, what language you speak. I got a big heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna always try to do whatever I can for whoever need my help, man.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I want to be known for. Basketball-wise, hey, man, that was a gift from God. And I used it as long as I could.
Mm-hmm.
But now life is totally different for me.
Yeah.
I got 4 beautiful kids. They love me just like I love them. I would do anything for all 4 of them. And I would try to never disrespect anybody, man. Nobody that if you don't disrespect me, I would never disrespect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been watching the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
Who you got?
Oh, it's over with, man. I got OKC now.
You got OKC?
Yeah, Indiana had their time. They should have took advantage of it in Game 3.
Or they going back to
Game 4.
Or they going back to Indiana?
Yeah, but shit, they down, man. Your boy Halliburton ain't too good right now.
What's wrong with Halliburton?
He did some of his calf muscle. He don't even know if he's gonna be able to play.
Nope. Is that right?
Yeah. They don't even know if he's gonna be able to play. He said he's gonna go out there, but he ain't.
Mm-hmm.
But like you say, everybody ain't at 100 this time of the year. But he, they're about 95. I think he's probably about 85.
Right.
So that ain't good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they got some more weapons though.
I mean, but it's, I like I say, I think they might get Game 6,
Mm-hmm.
but they not fit to go back to OKC and win.
And win.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Didn't they win one in OKC?
They won Game 1.
Game 1. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how I know to win. Most time, if a team in the first round, in the first game of the finals, if you're gonna beat somebody on their home court, it's gonna be Game 1.
Yeah. It just kind of set the tone a little bit.
Because they hadn't played in about 2 weeks. They swept the West. What's the name? What they go 7? Indiana.
Yeah, they beat. Was it Boston?
No, they
beat
New York.
Boston.
They beat New York.
They beat New York in the
They beat New York in 6.
Finals. Yeah.
Yeah, but
they beat Boston before that.
Right.
And then they beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So they
First
done knocked out some heavy hitters.
But they didn't have some Game 7s though too.
Yeah.
So they been playing.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't really never lose no rhythm. Well, OKC was at the crib chilling.
Yeah.
So like I say, that's why they say the first game is the game they're probably gonna get stole because they still in their rhythm.
Yeah.
And OKC trying to gain a rhythm.
So you think rest is important to the youngsters?
Nope. No, not for no young guys.
Yeah.
Them dudes go out and play every guy. They don't need to be doing no 2 and 3 days in between.
Right.
Them young, what they used to do back in the day. Them dudes played every other day.
Every other day.
Oh, every day?
Yeah.
Now they say we're traveling.
Yeah.
Now they got more games now.
Uh-huh.
Now, because I think everything now is what is it, 7 games? I think everything is 7 games now.
Yeah, it's 7.
You know, when
'cause
Jordan,
back in the day, when we started, it was 3. And
Three,
then it went to
5,
5.
Yeah, it was 3, 5, 7.
So it crossed my mind. So I gotta ask you,
Your brother.
huh? I'm talking about the NBA, man.
I thought you say who was the toughest you ever played against in the Kings, son. I was like, your brother.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. Little Moon used to give me fits, man. Big Moon. Big Moon used to give me trouble up there. And then especially when he played with K104.
Yeah.
Oh, man, used to give me trouble. Yeah, man.
And we had some ballers come through the center.
Oh, man, come on now. Come on now.
All right, now. All right. I just remember Leo handling the ball. He could handle the rock, man.
Well, all of them had something different they gave me.
Yeah.
Leo could handle, Rick could pass, Stan could jump out the damn gym.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rick used to hoop in a hat.
Yeah.
And that hat never came off.
It never came off. With them, with them dimes.
Yeah.
With them dimes, baby.
We talking old school style 6. Let's get back to the NBA.
Okay.
Where do you rank LeBron in terms of, the best players? Where you got him?
Well, because we grew up around watching who?
Yeah.
Magic, Bird, Jordan. That's where everybody wanted to be like, right?
Yeah.
Well, can I just go on and say he got a little bit of all 3 of them.
Okay.
I'll put him at number 4.
4?
Yeah.
Who were the 3?
The 3 I just named.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got
because his game is based off of that game. Just like I wouldn't put Kobe in there, but Kobe game that's Jordan.
It's pretty much.
That's Jordan again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron does. Man, this man got so many damn records.
Yeah.
Cause he played unselfishly. He played with anybody he ever played with. He played with them. He made them better. Yeah. And that's what them 3 dudes did.
I always tell people when we talking that, he can play damn near all 5 positions on the court. And to me, that makes him better than most because he's a better all-around player. But, people always say Mike, and I can't take nothing away from Mike.
Because Mike can play all 5 too.
You think so?
Lord have mercy, man.
You think Mike can play?
Why wouldn't he be able to?
Because he'll score. He's
but
a scorer.
One year, he averaged double figures in assists for a whole year. So I'm just saying he can do it all.
I'm gonna have to go
look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. And couldn't nobody stop him I'm just saying, couldn't nobody stop him in the post?
So he could play the 4 and the 5?
Yes. And if they had a 6, he could play the 6.
Yeah. What did Mike weigh? Like what, 190,
by the time he got where he wanted to be, where he became real dominant, he was about 220.
Okay.
After all them tail whippings he got from Detroit. He got up to about 220.
And you think, now, he probably could play the 5 now, but you think he could have played the 5 in our era?
I mean, who would have been able to do something with him if he had to play the 5?
Who would he be able to hold, though?
But LeBron, that'd be the same thing with LeBron. I mean, if LeBron was playing in the same era that Jordan played in, when we had real centers back then.
Yeah.
Shit, LeBron couldn't hold on them dudes, man.
No, he
Pat
couldn't.
Ewing. No, he couldn't have been doing nothing with them dudes. Kareem and all these. No, man. No. Because in that case, that's what Magic would have been doing. And Magic 6'9". Magic wasn't fucking with no centers. Excuse me.
He played center, though.
Yeah, on offense. But Jordan could do that. That's all I'm saying. We talking about defense. He wasn't messing with no Moses Malone them on no D, man.
Who was that Kareem was hurt and Magic started center and got a triple double.
That was 76ers.
That was the Sixers.
Yeah.
Now, who was the center for the Sixers?
Moses
that
Malone.
Was
6'9".
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Magic wasn't there in that guarding, no.
Right.
Magic wasn't going there, man.
No.
Michael Thompson or somebody was there.
No, he wasn't there yet.
He wasn't there yet?
No,
I know it wasn't Magic Garden.
Yeah, I think they had, who played? Was it Bob McAdoo?
They had McAdoo. Was Rambles with him yet?
I don't think
Rambles wasn't there yet?
With him either.
Who the hell I am?
Yeah, we gonna have to dig.
Gotta look it up,
that
baby.
one up. Yeah. But man, look here, man. It's been a pleasure, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate you.
Anytime,
Yes,
homeboy.
sir.
You
Sit
know that.
down with me.
Anytime.
And we got to get on here again and talk some basketball.
Yeah, you got to get the crew together, man. You got to
Yes,
get
sir.
the crew together.
You think you can pull it off?
I can get it.
All
Just
right.
let me know when you want to do it. I get all
heard
of them
that.
together.
He said he was gonna pull it off.
I can get them out. And congratulations to my boy Shaq Dizzle, man. You know, he going into the Texas High School Hall of Fame basketball.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Shaq Dizzle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When is that? When is that?
It'll be in 26.
Okay.
He'll go in 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, God say the same.
God
man.
say the same, man.
Maybe we can make the trip.
Yeah, I already told him.
Where is it?
Yeah, I think it'd be down
Waco?
toward Houston. I think somewhere doing toward Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He already told me, shit, I ain't going in without your cup. I said, Lord say the same, I'll be down there, baby.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
yeah, man.
sir.
But no, I'll put something together, man. We can get in the backyard, baby.
Okay.
We get in the backyard
Okay.
and get back there in high side. We calling out the whole crew. Anybody that you interviewed
Yeah.
before already, call them back. We
Get
going
him
in.
there. We're gonna get him too.
Get him in, baby.
Positive vibes. I'm the Positive Postman. And my boy Randy Weeds, we call him Rock. We out.
Love y'all.